Welcome to Imagine AI Live here at the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas. I'm your host, Chris Madden, and we have with us again Linus Ekenstam. Linus, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. It's been a wonderful morning.
So I think you might have just broke the internet when that photo releases of you in a bathrobe giving your presentation on stage.
Yeah, I think we just have to be lighthearted. This is such a nice conference, and yesterday was a bit like corporate in the morning, and everyone had a hard time coming up. And then you opened up this morning, and I felt you brought a lot of energy, and I just needed to follow. So like bathrobe, check.
That's amazing. So, for those that don't know you at this point, I mean, how would you describe what you do?
That's a super complicated question. I think the easiest way is like I don't like this, but like I do content creation online where I write about AI, and like I essentially try to break down complex and lesser complex issues and make it into something that normal people can read. And I don't mean that normal people are not adept, but it's just like there's so much stuff going on in AI and everything is moving so fast. And people just want a reliable voice where they can go, oh yeah, but Linus knows how to like tell me, about these things. I'm trying to break it down to make it more bite-sized and understandable. It's just the concepts alone are just so difficult to grasp, even for me. And I'm in it. I'm like consuming, I'm drinking from the Kool-Aid, right? And I have problems keeping up. I have problems understanding everything that's going on. But I think just trying to take that, synthesize that, and give that away to people. That would be describing what I do.
Yeah, well, you do a great job at it.
Thank you.
Congrats. And I can't stop looking at this thing around your neck. And what is that?
So this is, depending on how you frame it, this is a memory aid or like an augmented memory device that captures everything that I say and everything that I hear. And then I go back to a companion app and I can like swift through that data, listen back to things or just talk to the data.
So that's incredible. So it's an AI pendant.
Yeah.
And it's recording us right now.
Yeah.
It's recording live.
Mm.
You either, you turn it on or you turn it off?
I would argue that like turning it off beats the purpose. So like I keep it on all the time. And then if someone feels like I'm invading their privacy or if they see it and they ask what it is and they're like, they don't want it, I'll turn it off. And there's a button on the side so you can like turn it off in a second, basically.
Wait, okay, so and I think it was like a year ago or something, these AI pendants, there was a big wave, maybe, and there was a like Humane and a few others, but then they kind of fizzled away. What makes this different?
I think the difference, if you look at like the landscape of like these AI companion hardware pieces, like you look at the R1 from Rabbit, you look at the Humane AI pin, you look at this.
And what is this?
This is the Limitless Pendant.
Okay.
So it's by a company called Limitless.ai, and they just named it the Pendant. I think the differences are like if you look at the Humane AI pin compared to this, it tried to be so much. It tried to replace your phone. It had a camera, laser projector, and you can just say that back now. It's just so obvious that they were just trying too hard. This is basically just a glorified microphone, right? This is what the hardware is. It's a battery in here. It's a microphone that's really good. There's an indicator and a button. But then when the beauty of it is like what's happening in the cloud, what happens on the device. So everything that I'm saying and hearing gets transcribed, the audio gets saved, and then it turns up inside of this piece of software where like I can get daily summaries, like journal entries. I can have it do convoluted things, is like going through everything I said yesterday and tell me things that I need to improve, like how to be a better dad or like how to be a better listener. So it's extremely good at like improving my emotional intelligence. And it's like, it's unbiased. It's not my wife, it's not a friend, it's not someone that has like potentially some, underlying idea why they're telling me something. It's just an AI. Like it doesn't know anything. It's stateless in that sense.
And so just to make it clear, so you're not interacting with this device besides turning it on and off. It's recording everything. All the transcript is being put up into a software in the cloud and a software, Limitless is a software. And then how are you interacting with that information? Is it on your phone? Is there...
So they have a website and they have a phone app. So like the phone app works on Android and on iOS, and the website obviously works on any PC or any device that can browse the internet. And the app is quite simple. It just gives you a life log, they call it, and where everything kind of ends up on a timeline, and you get like chunks of summaries. So this will probably end up as like conversation with Chris Madden at the Imagine AI Live in Las Vegas, right? And then that would be like an object that I can open, and then I could drill all the way down to like step by step how our conversation went.
Wow.
So then I can go like, how could I improve in next interview I'm doing? I'm doing 2 more interviews this week. Based on what I talked with Chris about, how can I be better in the next one, for example. So I can get this like constant feedback loop of just like constantly wanting to improve. And then obviously like the system will have the context of our conversation now, but it also has the context of everything I may have done since I started wearing this.
Amazing. And how long have you been wearing it?
A month, pretty much. Yeah, a month and a little bit more.
And have you seen other people at this conference with an AI pendant?
A few. Like I think Steve has one. I've actually, it's quite funny because I've met, like the second week I wore it, I met a guy that I don't know, but we ended up in the same dinner, and he had one. And he's not a techie. He's like, he doesn't know anything about tech. But he had like so much fallen in love with this idea that he had like pre-ordered one a year ago, and we got them roughly at the same time. And he was also blown away.
So how many people do you think are going to be wearing one at next year's event?
So I think the current sales number is like somewhere north of 10,000. They kind of, because it was like a Kickstarter type release, but now it's available, so you can buy it. I think they're on a trajectory to maybe sell 1 million units within 2026. So
it's safe to say that next year's AI conference, at an AI conference with AI people, there'll probably be a lot of people wearing one.
Many pins, yeah. And I also think like this goes beyond kind of AI folks, because like this is a device that like if you went to a convention with writers, people that are constantly kind of like noodling on ideas and they're writing a lot, maybe they're speaking out loud to themselves, maybe they love note-taking, but like it's tedious to write note-taking. A lot of these people now use Super Whisper, which is like this app that you can use on your Mac to just talk to your computer. But like having this is such an upgrade because you don't have to think about it. Like you're doing these minute changes to your behavior where like before I wouldn't speak out loud to myself. Now I'm working from home and every now and then like during the day I'll just brain dump.
Yeah.
I'll just yap into this thing, and it's just like, because the thing is, even if I don't make sense when I'm yapping, I can then ask the AI to kind of make sense of it. Because like the underlying engine that powers all of this is I don't know exactly which provider they're using, but I'm guessing it's OpenAI. So you have that like power at the bottom, right? Of just like regular LLM like interactions.
How quick does it update? Or
the lag, like this stuff now is probably like 2 minutes. It will be transcribed into the app
and available on your device to like use it like you would use ChatGPT, but it's your log of everything that you've heard and then been spoken out loud in your presence while you've had it on.
Yep.
And it's incredible to think that you've been having it on for a month now, so it's kind of like trying to figure you out and like figure out your context. And I'm sure you can help it by telling it your context.
Yep.
And then it's just going to improve and kind of compound on all that knowledge. Whereby a year from now, it's going to know you better than you know yourself, possibly.
Yeah, I think that's the case, and I think this is exactly where we're headed. Like, it definitely knows me at this point better than my partner, for sure. Even though we've been together for 12 years, maybe not to, like the depth of it, but like my behavior, the way I do things, the way I might be interacting in social situations. Because to be fair, me and my partner, we have very regular conversations, like what you would have in a relationship. The mornings, the kids, the dinners. But like the breadth of people that I meet, especially when I'm out doing stuff like this, it's like orders of magnitudes more different types of conversations that I would normally have at home. But then another thing is like you can tag voices in this. So like my voice is tagged, so it knows everything that I'm saying because I've trained it on the audio recordings from my voice. But I have also trained it on my wife and my kids. So like at home, for example, there's really good context of like who's saying what and when. And now when I'm at a conference like this, it knows when I'm speaking, and all the other people that are speaking are just like, nameless speakers. But I could, if I wanted to, go in and say, this is Chris' voice, this is Steve's voice, whatever. And then I would have that knowledge as well. And also easier when you go back and like query, the LLM, like, what did I talk about with Chris? And then if your voice is tagged, no matter where in our history we had conversations, it would know that. And like, for example, this is one thing that I want to mention. It's like I had this conversation with a fellow creator, and we had brunch. We were talking for 3-4 hours, and he had some big updates, and I had some big updates, but we're kind of like just like really happy for each other. And then after that conversation, I'm like, how can I be a better friend? How can I truly, admire his work, and I want to be, really show him that I care about his success. And I had this conversation with the pendant, and like the stuff that comes out of it is just like mind-blowing because it takes in my context about who I am and what I do, and then weaves that into kind of my query. So like I got really good examples on things I could do. Like, you know what? Why don't you try to like send this and this gift to him, or why don't you send him a really nice handwritten note like to his actual email, like to his actual mailbox, and like just tell him like how much you care.
Yeah, I feel like this is like the foundation for so many more use cases going forward, and APIs into this information as well. And I'm sure you haven't. Have you had anybody ask you to turn it off?
It's roughly like 1 out of 100. So I also kind of know the type of person already, like who.
Well, I'm sure you go into like a business meeting, you ask the question or something, you know. Yeah. And the other thing that came to my mind is just like, you know, I mean, if you're doing criminal activity or something, you probably don't want to record all this stuff because, like, just like you know. You have a arrest warrant and people are going through your Google searches.
Yeah.
Like, okay, they're gonna let's grab the thing that every, you know.
I mean, there are second and third order consequences of wearing something like this. Like, yeah, I'm not a criminal. I wouldn't do criminal stuff from the first place. But wearing this, I'm more conscious about what I do.
It's
like, should I rob the casino or not? You know.
It is this added layer of like, okay, I am being recorded everywhere I go, so I better act better. And yeah, it's you're becoming a better man because of it, probably.
I hope so. And what I like about it is that I like getting feedback from other people, but it's really difficult at times where like you have your partner or you have someone that's just like constantly like maybe bashing on you for something that you're doing that you really don't like yourself, but you're really struggling to kind of like make the behavioral change. And then when you have something that's like it's an opinion without bias, right? Like it's an unbiased voice. I'm telling you concrete examples, like at this timestamp, this and this conversation happened between you and your kids or you and your wife, and you did this particular thing. That is not very pleasant. Like you could have done this in a variety of different ways. Here are some examples, but those examples are not generic. Those examples are not a zero shot that you get from ChatGPT. These examples are based on your existing behavior, the context that dependent knows about you already. So it's tailored to me.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest kind of, I think, vibe change for me is like, this is such an unlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Linus, I think we could opine on this for another hour, but this is a rapid pop-up podcast. So
Yeah.
the fascinating conversation. Thanks again for joining us here
Thank
this
you.
year again at the Imaginary Live. Thanks so much for being a part of our community.
Thank you.
And it's a pleasure meeting you in person, seeing you in person again.
Perfect. Yeah, and if anyone wants to buy this, they can go to limitless.ai/r/Linus and they'll get 10% off.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's a good one.
That's one small step for man.